So I've been living with hydrocephalus for 30 years, and I'm going to explain to you what it's like. So for those that don't know, hydrocephalus is basically when you have fluid in your brain and they put a shunt in, which is like a little pump, a little mechanism that they put in your head, on right here in your head, and it has connected to a catheter and it goes all the way down to your stomach and it drains the fluid out of your head. Does it result for those of you that get it late or it's not really treated right on time? Your head gets a little bit larger because of the fluid. As you can see, my head is probably slightly larger, but it's not that bad as I've seen in the past from just other patients. So I've had 3 surgeries concerning my hydrocephalus. The first one when I was a week old, it was a life-saving surgery. They put the shunt in, and I lived with it for 15 years, and which was actually abnormal because normally you get your shunt replaced a couple times before you're even 12 years old. So at 15 years old, I was having severe headaches and I was just exhausted. I was tired and I couldn't really sleep. And I was having double vision and I was off balance. And so the doctors decided to have surgery on me, and they replaced the shunt because they figured it was about time that it was probably clogged. So when they had replaced it, it was right on time because I was getting to the edge of death. It was really getting real bad. The doctor kind of described it. I didn't have much time left before it would have killed me. And so one of the reasons why I knew it had to be replaced was I had gotten a haircut, and I had gotten like a fade right here on the side. I had just like it was short on top and it just got a fade, and that was kind of the haircut I had at the time. And when I was looking in the mirror to see, the haircut was fine, I looked on the side of my head and there was fluid right here, and you could just touch it, and it was like a water bed kind of. You can just touch it and you can kind of hear the fluid and you can really feel it. And so that's when I went to the emergency room, and we were already talking in the talks of having the surgery, but that really pushed it, and so I had it like the next day. Now after that, that shunt lasted about 3-4 years, and so I was on my so this would be the third time I had the surgery, and it'd be my third shunt around this time. And because the third one was a little bit odd in that there's no signs of me needing it to get replaced. It was more like a hunch that I had. I can't really explain it. I just had a feeling that that thing needed to be replaced. It's not like my balance was off like the second time, or I was having these really bad headaches. I always have headaches, but you get headaches when it comes to your shunt. And so it was more of a hunch. I mean, I really can't explain it, and I kind of just pushed it. I just had this feeling. And so the doctors were doing the test, and nothing really came out positive. I mean, positive as far as it needs to be replaced, except for one test where they put dye in my head. They gave me a shot, and it basically was like a dye. And you could see on the X-ray whether it was clogged or not, and that showed some signs of something not right. So because I was really knew my body well, my doctor just believed me and just went with the surgery, and just it was like just in case situation. So when I woke up from my third surgery, sure enough, I was right. The doctor was pretty excited, because it was clogged and they caught it on time. So who knows if I would have lived or died if I had kept on going with it, or how bad the symptoms would have gotten. So it was a little odd that the symptoms were somewhat there, but not really. So it was kind of silent. And also the doctor was also excited because around that time they had came up with a new shunt. So I got a new and improved shunt that they didn't have to really pump anymore. It's kind of like magnet. So they just use a machine and they can somewhat unclog it for the most part. And so not only that, it lasted longer. So it was supposed to be lasting for around 25 years. So that's basically the details of the surgeries I had concerning my hydrocephalus. So when it comes to my hydrocephalus, the main concern I have is always the headaches. That's the only thing that really hurts me when it comes to my hydrocephalus. So it's not like my cleft lip. My cleft lip is really just my speaking abilities. And when it comes to my hydrocephalus, it's really just the headaches. So I sleep on my stomach, because if I sleep on my back, I'm going to get a headache. And also when it comes to physical activity, I make sure anything that's concerning my back, I'm very careful. Along also my head as well. And I really don't make sure I don't get up too fast, because if I get up too fast, I get that some kind of the pressure headache. They call it shunt pressure. So yeah, I get the headache, and so the headaches generally last anywhere from a couple minutes to it could last all day. I just really don't know. And so the headaches are a little bit different than a regular headache. When I have a regular headache, I never, quite honestly, never even notice it. It's really, really mild pain compared to the headaches I get from the hydrocephalus. The hydrocephalus really, it can really immobilize you, or you can't really do anything because, I mean, you just open your eyes and it hurts, and you get double vision and all these things. So you always gotta make sure to check in on with the doctor. Make sure it's not that the shunt needs to be replaced, or if it's just you're just having a bad day, and it's just the shunt pressure getting to you that day. Because you'll have it every now and then you'll go on months and weeks or whatever days without it, and you'll be fine. So you always gotta make sure to double check, do some kind of maintenance on yourself. Like I always check my head ever since I had the haircut with the fluid in the brain. Now I just double check, make sure everything's fine. You can even measure your head. I know when I was at the doctor, they would measure my head, make sure it wasn't getting bigger. So that's another thing you can do is just measure your head, check everything's all right, make sure your headaches are abnormal, make sure they're not more frequent, and that you need to get replaced. And make sure your vision's fine, and make sure you're balanced too, because usually when you're off balance, you got double vision and you got headaches, right? You might need to get replaced. And there's just nausea too as well. So those things you have to deal with when it comes to hydrocephalus, and those things you have to worry about it. For the most part, my hydrocephalus it's fine. It's not something I worry too about, but it does hold me back every now and then in life. And you never really know when the headaches are gonna come, but you do your best to make sure that you prevent them. So that's just my experience living with hydrocephalus. Let me know yours, and thank you for watching this video. Bye.